Hello, adventurous travelers and friends, and welcome back to a Back with the Adventures video. I'm your host, Rose, and today we are talking all about hiking in Hawaii. So I am on the beautiful island of Oahu, and every time we come here, my husband and I love to go hiking. This is partially because we used to hike all the time when we lived in Utah, but there's not as many mountains or really elevated hikes to do in Florida. So when we come to Hawaii, we love to bring our hiking shoes and really get out there in the mud, in the dirt, on the mountains, and see the beautiful views that Hawaii has to offer. I hope you enjoy. If you like videos like this, where I talk about travel, realistic expectations, help you figure out what to do on your next trip, go ahead and subscribe below, and let's get into the video. Good morning, everyone! It's like 5 a.m. and we're doing this at the beginning of our trip because that way our jet lag is helping us and not hurting us, and we are headed to the Lanikai Pillboxes to go hike for sunrise. I'm a little worried. It says 50% chance of rain, but hopefully it's fine. Hopefully there's no rain. We shall see. You will see. But we're really excited. This is one of the first hikes we're doing on our trip to Hawaii. You excited?
Yeah.
So the Lanikai Pillboxes were about an hour away from us, which is why we had to wake up so early. You want to get there at least like 30-40 minutes before so you can get up to the top when sunrise hits. Okay, so we found a parking spot down the hill, and now we're walking up the road to get to where the hike starts. It's still dark, which is good because that means sunrise hasn't happened yet. But I just saw a fire truck pass by and I'm worried. Did someone get hurt on the hike? Oh God. So yeah, the fire truck was right at the entrance of the hike, but they waved us on and said, go have a good time. And you go straight up. It's pretty steep, a lot of dirt, which obviously can turn to mud in the rain, and it wasn't completely straightforward, but you know you need to go up and kind of follow the ridge, and we definitely found the pillboxes. But we also were greeted with rain, which I was hoping wouldn't happen, but did. It didn't take away from the fact that it's still a beautiful view, but I guess I can't say that I've seen sunrise on the Lanikai pillboxes. And because of that rain, we pretty much slid down. Michael was trying to catch on the roots here. I kind of just sat on my shoes like skis and just, you know, took them like a sled down the hill.
Hey, you should be focused on you walking.
The next hike we took on our vacation was the Koko rail hike, which is pretty much this old rail line that goes all the way up to the top. It's almost like stairs or a ladder at certain parts depending on the steepness. Its intensity is pretty high up there, but people do it as just a run.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
We tried to keep track of the rails for a while because apparently the count has been contested online, but it took too much work to try and count and also keep our energy up to get up this railway. But they say it's about 1,000 steps. The hike itself is 1.8 miles, but I feel like because the rails are this straight line, it's like that long hallway effect where it feels like it's longer than it is, and sometimes it feels like you're never gonna make it, but eventually you do. Now, the only problem with going up a hike for sunset is that it means you have to go back down in the dark, and I don't know that I thought that through.
Hey, Rose. This is the video, yeah. Alright, so we are going down the part right now where there is about a 10 to 15 foot drop underneath the bridge. You'd probably be okay, but you might hurt yourself.
This is the recommended method that I am using.
Rose is using the firewoman's pose to escape down the ladder. And I'm using the support roll as filming
and lighting
while going down by myself. I'm gonna die.
Are you okay, babe?
Yeah, of course I'm okay. It's for the video, hon.
Yes.
Jeez.
You said I can see from the signs.
I know. We have this like joke in Hawaii. It's anywhere there's a sign that says like, "Don't go beyond this point." We're like, "Oh, this is where the hike starts."
So as you kind of could see, our third hike was a little less than legal. It's the Crouching Lion hike. We were going with Kelsey Aloha, who is an amazing photographer, and picked the spot for us based on some Instagram photos of hers that I liked, because the views are incredible. It's a relatively short and steep hike, about 0.4 of a mile, but there's a lot of sort of varying branching off trails that you can use to get to different viewpoints and, for us, different photo points. And it was probably the prettiest hike that I have done in Oahu, just based on that view of Kahana Bay. Because it's on a ridge line, there's definitely some steeper points. It was really nice to be with a guide in a way, someone who knew the different branching off trails, knew where we could go, but there were quite a few people up there, so if you did go on your own, I would just try and follow the crowd a little bit, keep yourself safe. We got some amazing photos. You'll have to go follow me on Instagram to see them, and I was just in love with the whole experience. It was a great day.
What's up, people?
Hiking. Hi! We're gonna go on a hike. Michael planned this one. It's called
Maunawilli Falls.
Maunawilli Falls. So we're gonna go up to Maunawilli Falls. It's supposed to be muddy, about 5 miles, so 2.5 there, 2.5 back. And we're super excited. This is our first waterfall hike on this trip to Oahu. And where is this? On the east side, west side? Where am I?
Near Kailua.
Near Kailua. Okay. So this hike seems to appear easier. It did to me at the start, but it's really not. It's actually one of the longer hikes we did at about 2.5 miles to the falls. That's not round trip, that's one way. It is relatively flat, not as steep. There are a couple places with stairs. There's a couple places where you cross the river. It's not perfectly marked like most of the trails, so sometimes you cross a different river in a different spot one way than you do on the way back.
Super muddy. But super beautiful. We're like in a rainforest.
When he says super muddy, he means it. This was thick, sucking mud. I took my shoes off because they were falling off of my feet, being sucked out by the mud. It adds for some slipperiness, some dirtiness, which can be fun, but also can be a little of a hazard. That's why I have to look down all the time.
Oh my god.
Did you get that?
Booby
God.
traps!
Ah!
Well, you...
Step there, Michael.
I feel like you're just trying to get muddy now. Yeah, you're just trying to get muddy.
No. It's like one of these shallow ones.
Yeah, look. Check the baby one right here. Like, oh no, it's gonna... Ah!
Because I'm hungry. All I can think about is food. Ham and cheese sandwich. I would eat that. I don't even eat that. I would eat that.
You don't even like that.
Ooh, like Frito-Lays. I don't care. I don't care what it is. So in that clip, I'm starting to spiral into talking about food. I almost forgot. We didn't bring snacks with us on this hike. Because it's a longer hike, bring some snacks, because otherwise you might be hungry like I was. We did eventually make our way to the waterfall, which was gorgeous, but more crowded than I expected, seeing as I did, cross paths on the trail, but I didn't feel like I crossed a full crowd. But there were plenty of people there, some locals there, and they were having some fun. Now, after joining in on the party, Michael decided to try and hike a little higher to jump, and this is where we ended up. In the emergency room, he sliced his fingers on bamboo trying to pull himself up, and so we were the muddy tourists in the emergency room with bleeding fingers. We had to hike the whole way back in a rush, but you know what? We ended up okay. And Michael's fingers got stitches, and he's still healing now, but you know, one of those warnings where you gotta be careful, guys. You never know what could happen. You never know who it could happen to. Anytime you go out in nature, there is opportunities for mistakes and for injuries, so watch yourself and watch your fam. I hope you enjoyed. I love all of those hikes. I know some of them can get a little dangerous at times. Make sure that you bring a first aid kit. Make sure you bring snacks. Make sure that you are always looking at the weather and at your surroundings to keep yourself safe. But hiking is always a good time in Hawaii, so I hope you enjoy yourself if you go. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Bye, travelers!